You've had a lot of rabbis in your life, and while you may have known some who have milked a cow or chopped down a tree, big tree, there's probably only one who did both of those things and also rode crew and played hockey while being a rabbi. When Kushner left us for the left coast, before we discovered David Thomas, we had the wonderful, beloved interim Rabbi Liza Stern. She's now the rabbi at Congregation Eitz Chaim in Cambridge, which is dedicating their new sanctuary tomorrow, right? The home for the wandering Jews. Wandering. They're wandering and wandering in Cambridge, I know. And I also have it on good authority that because of her hockey experience, she throws a mean body block, so I'm going to give her a wide berth. Please welcome Rabbi Liza Stern.
Laurel, dear. A brick. Our Torah teaches, Pharaoh dreamed dreams, and Joseph gave them meaning. And then Joseph came up with a plan to store the grain of the plentiful years so that it could be distributed in darker times of famine. You know this story. What an extraordinary skill set Joseph had. He was a dreamer and a doer. He was an analyst and a strategist. He was an interpreter and an organizer. But that's not why Pharaoh hired him. Pharaoh recognized Joseph as a man of God, Ish asher ruach Elohim bo, a man in whom is the Spirit of God. What did Pharaoh see? I was interim rabbi here when we celebrated your 10th anniversary. And Rabbi Larry Kushner appeared on a screen. And he recalled the first time he met you. And he said, and it's not an actual quote, but it's what I remember that he said. He said, I hired her before I ever heard her sing. I hired her neshama. And I remember thinking at the time, wow, he hired her neshama. That's really stupid. Ago, Kushner saw a young woman, Isha asher ruach Elohim ba, a woman in whom is the Spirit of God. Kushner got lucky. As it turned out, you could sing. And it also turned out that you, like Joseph, are a dreamer and a doer and an analyst and a strategist and an interpreter and an organizer. You, Laurel, have an incredible skill set, a set that has served you and your people very well. But what he saw and what he hired was your neshama. And I understand that that's what Pharaoh hired, a neshama, a soul, a vessel for Ruach Elohim. Now, storing grain, even if it originates as the stuff of dreams, is pretty straightforward. You build a big building and you put the grain in it. And you make sure that it's protected from the elements and the varmints. And when you need it, it's there. So here's a question. How do we store the stuff, the contents of our hearts? How do we store the moments of joy, the gratitude, the contentment, the emotional bounty, so that in darker times we might sustain ourselves with these resources? Where do we store them? And I want to suggest, my dear, that you are that storehouse. Or, if you prefer the feminine, you are Miriam's well. You are filled not with grain or water, but with joy. A joy that sustains us and reminds us that God is with us even when we don't know it. By the way, I got the word dear from you. Hi, dear. You sing out every time one of us calls the other. And the joy is in the notes. And the joy is in your body. Every time you bless our Torah study with the words, La'asok b'divrei Torah. And the joy is in your laugh, and in your eyes, and in your cooking, and in your tears. In all that you do and are, you invite us to partake of the joy stored in every fiber of your body. Maybe it's not joy. Maybe it's love that spills out of you and onto us. Transformative, healing, joyous love that reconnects us to the bounty in our own hearts. And we, replenished by your energy and your spirit, discover and dare to sing out the contents of our own hearts as well. So I guess I'm saying thank you. Thank you for being a woman in whom is the Spirit of God. Or rather, thank you, God, for the ongoing miracle of your Spirit in Laurel. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asa nisim la'avotenu ve'imotenu, bayamim hahem, bazman hazeh.